Hey guys, PeeCarNoo here, bringing you guys another GTA 5 video, and it's been a bloody long time since I've been doing this type of videos because I've just been so busy with shit in real life, and you know, thing gets Soviety and the nice weather in the UK, and it's all so good and good and glory. But you know, let's get back into the sort of, you know, bread and butter of what this channel is about. So recently, there's a new weekly event that's going around in the GTA 5 community, and it's hosted by Cirrus, which I will leave all the details in the description. Check out his YouTube channel for all the latest information on it. But basically, it is a weekly GTA 5 sort of mini endurance event where you've got 3 divisions, and you are competing obviously to be into the first position and to win that, and you've still got a mandatory pit stop evade that you have to do, which is, you know, quite important. You can't do it on the first lap, you can't do it on the last lap, you've got to do it somewhere in between for 10 seconds. So as you can see right now, there is 3 divisions. Personally, I missed the first week race, which actually put me down into the Division 3. So this is Division 3, which is the Zentornos, and like I said, I'm competing in Division 3 because I got knocked down right to the bottom because I missed the first event, which wasn't really my fault. I was in Manchester, which is like 2 hours away from me, so I couldn't really make it in time. But yeah, so Division 3 is the Zentorno. The race is, well, on this particular one, it was 20 laps, and you know, it was a mandatory pit stop. You had to do within that. As you can see, Division 1 is the Osiris, Division 2 is the Turismo. I also participated in the Turismo in Division 2 because Mini X-Tempo OK Jack is couldn't make it because he's meeting Simon Cowell recently, and he basically he was in Division 2 and I took his spot, so I was allowed to race into with the Turismos, which I will be posting a separate video on because that race was quite interesting, how it sort of progressed and where I started. So I'll be doing that, but I just wanted to sort of bring back a video where I actually talk about a race in GTA 5 because I haven't done that recently. You know, in the past videos I've been, you know, doing multi-class endurance, and then that's drained me out, and then I've been doing other stuff and sort of getting into the Call of Duty grind because I'm excited for COD 4 and things like that. And you know, a lot of you people subscribe for GTA, and it's quite hard for you guys to watch a different game, which I understand. That I can see that from the interaction on the videos in terms of the views and the likes and things like that. I understand, but you've got to realize that there is newer games coming out, and although GTA 5 is still the primary game and I will try and cover most of the time, you know, it's getting to the point where it's almost approaching 3 years now of the game, and you know, if it's not for events like this and it's not for the, you know, racing scene to be as active as possible, then it's quite hard to make videos on. But I will keep going. I will try and explore different areas, so leave suggestions down in the comments because, you know, obviously there's thousands of you and there's one of me, so thousands of ideas is always better than one idea, and I would try and implement that. So just leave it in the comments, or you know, if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter and just, you know, tweet me them. So anyway, this race here is the Zentorno in Division 3. As you can see, it's on quite a nice custom made track, and the weather actually turned for the worse, but obviously the Zentorno being 4-wheel drive doesn't really matter because it's, you know, it's grippy as fuck. So lap times wasn't really affected, but in this race I'd finished I started 3rd, and I sort of went into 1st place after the first lap, and then just started progressing from there. Like I said, it wasn't my choice to be in Division 3. That could be the wrong idea, but I was relegated because I missed the first race. It's part of the rules, and I just wanted to do the race because, you know, I didn't want to, you know, miss another race even though I sort of signed up for it. So that was interesting, but it's a really sort of nice fun event created by Cirrus. It's quite a good idea. There's not many rules involved. There's no sort of like, you need this, you can't use this, and you can't use these tires and this spoiler and, you know, whatnot. It's just a casual sort of serious competitive mini endurance race, which is actually really fun. Same rules apply, obviously. You know, you've got things like, if you're a back marker, like you can see now, he swiftly moves over to let me pass, which is, you know, really, really good. Didn't even have to say anything down the mic. But yeah, it was a nice race, and you know, for multi-class with this week coming up, it's going to be interesting because the weather has been so sick in the UK, right? Everyone's just been outside and just doing other stuff. And I haven't been on GTA in about a week, yeah? This is the first time I jumped on GTA, and this was recorded on Sunday. So that's the first time I've been on GTA in a week since the last MCC race. So it's interesting. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. But at the end of the day, it's fun. It's fun to get back on GTA 5 and do some serious racing. And this race was actually quite fun because it actually let me drive the Zentorno, which is, to be honest with you guys, probably the most fun car at the moment to drive again. Just because everyone's been like grinding out the Turismo and the Osiris and the T20. But the Zentorno, the way it just sort of like, it dives into corners and sometimes the back end skips out, and the way it just sort of hunkers down on the road, and you get these little tail slides and things like that. It's probably one of the most interesting cars to drive. That's not saying the Turismo is boring. The Turismo is still bait to drive, but the Zentorno is just on like, it got boring on last gen because it was the only car to drive, but now considering the Osiris and the other cars are out, it's actually one of the most fun again. And I think it is the best balance and the best value for money. But we've already known that, you know, since the other cars came out. So this race here, as you can see, quite a nice concept design. You've got two sort of custom-made bridges going over the top, and then obviously you can go underneath. This is quite an interesting corner here. And in the Turismo race, which I will be posting in a few days' time from now, there's a nice battle between me and Christy, which yeah, Christie. So that was quite an interesting concept as well. The Turismo was really nice around this track. But in terms of lap times, there wasn't really much in it, if I'm honest with you. The Turismo, the Osiris, and the Zentorno were posting very similar lap times. The Osiris obviously not requiring, you know, as much attention because it just used to shoot off after bumps. Whereas the Turismo you had to sort of manage the throttle between these bumps. So there's this corner coming up here where you go down from this bridge, and it sort of flicks your back end. So that there flicks your car, and in the Turismo it's quite hard to control, but in the Zentorno and the Osiris it just flies. But yeah, so I sort of maintained the first position. I was just trying to hot lap as much as possible. I had quite a good lead on second place. But GG to everyone that stayed into the race anyway. And yeah, it was interesting. So I think this is coming up to the last lap now. Races last about half an hour, so depending on how it gets going and, you know, on the track and things like that, a usual race lasts about half an hour, which is quite a nice time. But yeah, what you're seeing now is basically just sort of some footage of what the pit stop is actually meant to do. So obviously you go into the pit stop. I choked on that corner, so I thought, why not? And you've got to wait 10 seconds. You can see the officials here doing an excellent job of counting down, and you see a flare gun go off in 3, 2, 1, and boom, it goes off, and that's where I can release all the Turismo what? Zentorno power onto the main straight. And yeah, it was an interesting one, and I thoroughly enjoyed the race. So what I'm going to be showing next is some just sort of like practice sessions, like some of the first battles, some practice runs that I had on this track, because like I said, wasn't on this game for a week, and I just wanted to sort of, you know, show and just sort of demonstrate that, you know, whatever car you choose, it's always interesting to actually go from. So this is the final lap now. As you can see, we had some disconnections in the race. I think we started off for about 23, 24 people, something like that. But obviously with it being GTA and the servers being temperamental at the time, because Rockstar keep putting their servers down for some bizarre reason. I don't know if it's to do with maintenance or if it's just because their servers are quite shit in general. But we are sort of losing the sort of consistency of their servers recently. It was on a good batch where nothing used to happen. You used to get consistent, you know, connections, but recently it started to go downhill. But yeah, this is the final lap now, so I'm just going to show this straight off to you guys. Like I said, this being one of the difficult corners, and that car just dives in really nicely there. But what you'll see in a second is just some practice laps, like I said before this race. I think mainly between a battle between me and Ryan. which was really good. He was in the Osiris, and I was actually in the Zentorno, so that was obviously that was interesting to see. So anyway, getting back to this race, as you can see here, finished in first position, got the fastest lap time. I was trying to push even quicker, but I needed a bit more practice, to be honest with you, to drop any seconds below that. But finished there. GG to everyone that participated. Running out of breath. Whoo, Jesus. So yeah, really nice race. Definitely, this is a weekly thing, so I'll be doing it again. And but yeah, so what I'm going to be showing you guys now is this is a battle between me and Ryan. As you can see, Ryan is in the Osiris here, and we're just sort of practicing for this race. Ryan was in Division 1, so using a separate race to me. And it was interesting to see the Zentorno against the Osiris again. You know, all these cheeky little battles. You can see Ryan sort of chokes on these sort of bike racks there. And approaching here, the Zentorno gets a mad boost, cutting on the inside, both taking it patiently. Ryan goes on the curb there, grabs a bit of a bump. And yeah, it was an interesting thing to witness. And I haven't really done this in a long time in a supercar race, so it's really good. So if you're wondering what the next week's race is, I will leave, like I said, all the links and the information will be down below. Everything is on Sirius's channel in terms of, you know, like how long the race is, what the positions are, and what cars are selected, and dates and things like that. So go check out that. Go watch the videos there. If there's, you can still sign up, I believe. If there's some reserve spots available, then you can do that if anyone misses. But yeah, that's. Obviously, it's not a guaranteed spot, but that's what I'm just saying is if you do want to get in, you know, sign up and just see on the day if you are selected, then you'll be notified. But yeah, it's like I said, really really fun race to actually do. Props to Sirius for actually organising this in sort of like in the middle of the MCEC. And yeah, it was a good race, and it's good to sort of get back on that GTA grind, which, you know, to be honest, I've been lacking recently, and I don't blame you, but like I said, stuff has been happening in real life, which I will be bringing a video out on what's been happening, so I'm quite excited for that. So, still sort of car related, well, it is actually, but, and yeah, so that'll be my first sort of real life video, if that makes sense. So look forward to that. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and if you're new around here and you want to be notified of these type of video, then subscribe to the channel. Massive support recently. We're almost at 9,500 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.